Hey, what's going on, guys? So this is a follow-up video of the last tutorial video I made of the actual stadium seating. One or two of you wanted me to hurry up and make a corner video because it can be a bit scary, but I'm going to show you a technique to make it pretty simple. I made some basic seating right here just to kind of start off. This, you can look at the last video to figure out how to make something like this. Over here I'm actually currently working on some little thing, all these little pieces and these cubes. I'm trying to make some kind of system where it'd be super easy to make your own stadium seating and corners and just make a stadium in general. I'll make a follow-up video to that and everything, explain all that, but hopefully my plan is to be able to, you should make a customizable stadium completely, be able to change the color of the seat, cement, everything, what kind of tier size, everything, just by being able to place it on top of one another. So that should be done hopefully soon. That'll be fun. I hope some of you guys benefit from that. And of course, you know, you can just always make your own, but that's just a really simple way. Anyway, to get off track, let me explain how to make a corner. So again, this is basic seating. This really doesn't have anything to do with the corner, but just kind of as a reference, here is one end of the seating. And what I did is, if you remember from the last video, let me line that up real quick. Remember from the last video, you would start off with these 4 seat across strips, and that's how you would make these sections. So you want to take away one of those strips again, because this is important for the corners. This is how you make a corner, very simply. So you want to take that corner or take that strip away and put it right next to it, and make sure it's one building, definitely, because you don't want to have everything be the same building, because then you lose access to moving the object because it's so many pieces. So what I do is I typically make one section a building. But I'd be careful, because this isn't the biggest stadium ever, but it's still 17,000 pieces and still takes 2 seconds to grab it. So that's a big thing, is make sure you create your buildings wisely, because you can't have everything be the same building, or else you'll blow up your computer. Anyway, so yeah, make sure start off your corner, make it a separate building piece. And to do that, if you take a section of this stadium piece and then drag it off like this, so say like this is a part of this building, you can just go here and then click done over here, and now it's free, but it's not a building. And then now everything's an individual piece. Select that, boom, now it's its own piece. And that's how you start a stadium. Let me get rid of that. That was just an example. Alright, so now that you know how to start a corner and to make it its own building, copy and paste it. And this is kind of a trial and error stage, but place it across like this, just do a 180 with it and mirror it. And this is a very useful trick if you build a lot in these type of games. Planet 2, Planet Coaster, if you want to make anything that's spherical or anything that's just circular, this is a great way to do it, because by mirroring that, you create a center point right in the middle, and now you can revolve into its own corner like that. That's another thing, actually. I don't think it's a good idea. I used to do it, but I don't do it so much now, to do this whole thing in one go like that. Why is it doing that? It's being weird. Huh, okay, that's weird. Okay. It's gonna be a pain in the butt, I guess. Alright, let's try that again. Never experienced that before. Copy and paste it, revolve it, put it there, select the whole thing. Again, it's usually this XYZ axis thing is right in the middle, and it just revolves. That's usually how it works. Like, I'll do it on a smaller scale example real quick. Usually it is messed up if there's more pieces on one side than the other, but they got just copy pasted, so I'm not really quite sure what's going on. But yeah, this is the strategy of making a corner. I'm just gonna present it in a really small scale really quickly with just 2 pieces of window. No, I want these to be 2 separate pieces. There we go. That one building. And this should work. There you go. See how that's in the middle? Turn off angle snap and just revolve it like that. And then you just copy more pieces as you go. Perfect. That's just really quick and basic. But look at that. Now you just made, excuse me. Now you just made a circular, like a perfect circle with any object, and that's the basis of this technique, but on a larger scale. Alright, so let's try this again. But let's not select the whole thing, like I just said. I'm not thinking, brain farting. Alright, let's just select the first tier as of now. There we go. See, now it's in the middle. Perfect. And just revolve it until that last seating right there is just on the edge. Yes, there's going to be overlapping here, and it's, if you get into the nitty gritty and look really into it, yeah, it's not perfect, but it's much easier than what I used to do. When you should just grab a corner like this, and you should just grab angle snap and do that, and then fill that in with seating. That was a pain. Don't do that. And I found this to be much easier, so do this. So no angle snap, just do that. Oh, I'm sorry, I completely forgot a big thing. Turn on angle snap for this. It's like the whole thing, and why is it being like this? Theoretically, it should be right in the middle there. I don't know why it's not. Hopefully it's not like that for you. But there you go. Grab both sections and just grab the first tier, and then just turn it 90 degrees, and that's what that's where the end of the corner will be. That's pretty good actually. So this will be the corner, all this filling right here. Keep that. That's what I like to do. Except we'll grab a little bit more seating. I feel like it must be the top tier that is messing everything up. Yeah, it is, which is interesting. Regardless, this is all about the technique rather than me building the stadium. So you guys will get the idea, and hopefully you shouldn't have any problems yourself. We can delete this part. You don't need this, but you do need it to line that up. So let's try this again. I'm getting sidetracked. Grab all this. Perfect. And now let's do this. There we go. And just fill it in. There you go. That's the first tier done. There you go. Perfect corner right there. Of course, you have this extra bit over here. Keep that for now. You don't have to get rid of it. You can if you want. I just tend to get rid of it all at once. And that is the first tier, and we'll get into doing seating. That is a big pain, is doing seating on a corner, because like I said before, there's a lot of overlapping seats. So towards the top here, like, yeah, you want to have your there's no seat back seating, man, that's funny. You want to have your stairways on these 4 pieces, 4 seating pieces like that. That's what I do. I like that, and then that's what I did for this. I just took away 4 seats. But on this, on the top here, you can see the outline of the 4 seats, and that's one. And you can take that, delete that all the way down. But you'll see, because of the seats copied next to it, it gets narrower and narrower. So I'll get into that a little bit later, but as of now, I'll just continue making the entire corner. And there we go. Obviously not perfect. You can see I didn't line it up perfectly. I'm just trying to get an example out there. But to make all this seating took what, 10 minutes, 15 minutes maybe, as opposed to that old technique I was saying before where you get angle snap, make it 15 degrees, and every 15 degrees and you snap it and you fill in the seating with or fill in the space with seating. That takes a while. This is fast, it's efficient. It's not the prettiest, you can see some overlap and stuff, but in terms of time and looks, I think it's a good solution. You can get rid of this now. You don't need any of this. It might take a while because it's taking a lot of pieces. Come on. Come on. It's hauling. My computer's hauling. It's a tough break about stadiums. It's just sometimes it hurts your computer. But now I will try and show you how to make these stairways. These can be a pain on corners, especially with the lower bowls, the first bowl specifically, because it's so congested with seating. It can be hard to make clean pathways. Game crashed, but it's fine. That happens. That happens actually a lot when you have so many pieces that you're trying to delete or copy and paste. It'll say that the game crashed and it wants you to close the app. If you just press no, it'll continue loading and it will eventually get rid of it. So just because it says that, don't freak out. That's another thing when you're making stadiums, because you're dealing with so many pieces. Make sure you save often. All right, there we go. And that is a corner done, seating wise. And let's get to the stairwells. These can be a pain, and I'm gonna try and explain this the best way I can. But there's really no easy way to do this. This is just, you're just gonna have to kind of figure it out. But I'm gonna show you what I try and do. So, like I said before, you have like these 4 seats, so you can see the little angles where you copy and paste the 4 seats across. So you want to find one of those, like this is one, and then it goes to another one here, and another 4 over there. So you want to find one of those like I did here, and just keep finding them all the way down, like so. And it's going to get narrower and narrower and narrower. And this is where it becomes a pain. You're just gonna have to you just gotta basically delete the path. It's never gonna look perfect, but you can clean it up a little bit at the end. But as of now, just kind of try and create a path if you can. There we go, that's not too bad. That's another thing about corners, is with these smaller corners like this on the first tier, it's very common to see something like this, where the stairwells only go down like halfway, and not all the way down, because it's a waste. But you want to have as many seats as possible, like I said in the first episode. That's a pretty big deal. And to keep that, the whole point of seating or these stairways in the first place is to separate the seating so the accessibility for each seat isn't too bad. So instead of, if this wasn't here and your seat was right here, you would have to walk all the way across. But because there's a stairwell here, you only have to walk down here, boom, right there. Here, if your seat's here and this isn't here, you have to walk all the way across here. But if your seat's here, there's less seats in that gap because the radius or the circumference is smaller of the corner, if that makes sense. So that's kind of a nice cheat almost if you don't want to do the entire seating. It's realistic and it saves time. I do that. I think I actually have that on the stadium I showed in the first episode that I was working on. I think I did that for the corners. It saves time and it's realistic, so it's kind of like a why not, you know. So like that's not bad. Even if you want to, you can, if you want to kind of straighten this out a little bit, you can do this. You can copy and paste the seats from one side like that, and just bring them across like that, and then just unselect everything and then you just fill in the gap with these seats. Corners are not fun, that's definite, but hopefully this helps a little bit. Yeah, so you can do that and then unselect all the ones you don't want to overlap too much. Boom, there you go. Not the prettiest, but look, you got a straight pathway. It's not curving inwards like before. So if it really bothers you that much, you can do that. But it's also pretty common to see stairwells kind of go inwards like that. That's not too uncommon. And like I said earlier, because it's so congested with these smaller tiers, the first tier is really the hardest. After that, with these, because they're so small, you can almost just find those 4 seats like I was saying before and just delete them, and you have a pretty good pathway there. This isn't perfect, I can already tell by this curve here. However, it's really on my Yankee Stadium build actually, for my pathways that I made. I really didn't even care. You can see that they're like really diagonal and curved, but I bet you didn't even notice. So was it really worth cleaning it up? I don't think so. Like that, except you obviously you can make it wider by just getting rid of some more seats like that. There you go. And you can just do that for whatever you feel is suitable for the distance and sections. And obviously it's even easier on a suite level when there's only like 4 rows of seats. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something else. I know in the first tutorial I wanted to do entrances, like to the fan entrances for the seating. I think I'm gonna make a different tutorial for that. That's pretty self-explanatory stuff. That's not gonna be a very long tutorial. That might be sooner rather than later. I could probably make that just like 30 minutes or an hour. But yeah, even I don't really think I need to show you guys how to make this top tier. It's just like with these two. If not, it's easier than the first tier. This first tier is really the hardest example. With railings, I typically have railings on the pathways. Again, really easy. All you do is just curve them with the seating. So if you have all your pathways in the middle, just turn your railings 45 degrees and it's right in the middle. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, I mean, to make all this seating, of course, you know, you might see this and not know the technique and be like, well, that looks like it sucks. And you know, if you don't know the technique, it does suck, but hopefully this helps, and you know, you can get all this done in like 10-15 minutes. And yeah, I mean, that's really it. I know with what I was saying before with these pieces, completely customizable stadium, build your own stadium, hopefully that should be done soon. That should be able to, you guys should be able to just make stadiums any color you want, size, whatever, like that. So that should be fun. And of course, doing that and being able to see a stadium and make it yourself, you can kind of look off of that when you're making your own. Because the more you do this over and over, the more comfortable you get, and the more you don't need those references anymore. You just make it yourself. And yeah, that's it, guys. So thank you for watching. If you have any more questions or anything, just make sure to put them in the comments. Like you guys have been. Appreciate it. All right, take care, guys. See ya.